Hello, welcome to Swapping Joysticks. It is the 17th of September 2023. I'm your host, Ben Ostwick, joined as always by...
Me, Ed Nightingale. Hello.
We're in the same room and we've once again changed the look of this thing. We were told that we were a little bit too...
We're testing.
Yeah, we were told we were a little bit too small last time. But yeah, we're testing, finding a new identity. No, not finding a new identity because I think we know what we do. But like visually, we're just trying to make it look a little pretty. We've got a new camera now, so we may as well make it look as, fancy as possible.
We try.
One day. It's going to be weird like looking back on this in, 100 more episodes time and just seeing how different it is.
100 years, and I was like, wow.
Well, 1 year. 2 years will be 100 episodes. Yeah. But yeah, welcome. This is your home of streaming, gaming, and maybe a little bit of an LGBTQIA plus twist to it. If there's an angle there, we'll go for it.
We love an angle.
We do. We like going in at an angle. No,
let's not get there.
It's not. And but those who are watching, I'm still trying to work out why you look so tanned on your camera. I say you're tanned. You're slight shade of pink
at all.
That's tan for you, and why I'm so kind of washed out. But
maybe it's the yellow.
No, it was like this last time. I just look ill on that camera for some reason. Maybe I'll switch those cameras around next time.
Also, I can look normal.
You can look like you look. Yeah.
Ill.
You don't look ill. You just look like...
I just go out.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, I am a vampire.
You do go out sometimes. Like today you went out to the shop, but it was raining.
It was raining.
Yeah.
And it was all of 10 minutes.
And we went out this weekend.
Did we?
We did. We went to KuboCon.
We did.
We did. And it was really cool. There were lots of people there and lots of cosplayers.
A lot of cosplayers. Some very cool cosplayers.
That house, honest, oh my god. I've seen that everywhere on Twitter now.
Yeah. Someone dressed up as the boss house from Final Fantasy VII.
Genius.
I think the remake version. Which was genius. I think, to be honest, the most fun was just trying to spot who everyone was and trying to work out.
Somebody spotted you, Ed.
Well, us.
If that person who saw us, who has seen the Ben Starr interview and came up to us and said that, thanks on the great interview and stuff. That made my day. Thank you. You made my day. But yeah, that was really cool. And that was going on in London. It's KuboCon. It's like a Final Fantasy fan fest type thing rather than actual fan fest, which is 14.
Yeah, fan fest is 14 only, but this is just everything.
And there was mix of everything.
All the Final Fantasies.
The different styles of Clive Rosendale. Rosfield, yeah.
You were close.
One of them. There were lots of different types, little different styles.
There were.
My favorite was the very, very what's the phrase? Very sexy, sexualized, voluptuous Sephiroth. Did you see her?
No.
Oh, there was a Sephiroth with like a black leather leotard with the two gifts hanging out. It was...
Well, I wish I'd seen that now.
That would have been... We should have taken a photo.
Slay Queen.
Yes. But yeah, that was our weekend. We do anything on Saturday? I can't remember. No, that was Saturday.
Yes, that was Saturday. We haven't really done much else. No. Play some games, really.
We have. We've been playing games and... Oh, next week... Actually, no, the podcast will be normal next week. However, we're going to a wedding.
We are,
yeah. The wedding is of...
Jizz.
They don't like to be called Jizz, but they are Jizz.
But we like to call them Jizz.
Gemma and Liz. Not Gemsy. Jizz. Like we're bed.
Are we?
Jizz in bed. Oh, God.
All in one place.
Oh, yeah. Then you can... no. There are better places. But yeah. Is your dad listening? Jizz, their wedding is next Thursday, and we're away, but yeah, that won't impact the podcast, but we'll tell you all about it if you want next week.
If Jizz wants.
Yeah. We will say, yeah, we will. Yeah, why not? Because the reception does take place in a board game cafe, so maybe we'll be introduced to some new board games. What is your favorite board game?
The Game of Life.
There is a
board game called Game of Life. Yeah. I'm not trying to be wanky. No, Game of Life. You have these little cars, and then you put pegs in depending on your partner and the kids you have. I don't want any kids. And you can just well, obviously it's like, husband or wife because it's all heteronormative, but you can just put whatever peg color you want.
Put your peg in whatever
put your
hole.
peg in a car,
Yeah.
and then you drive around, and you have to, and it's all the different things that happen in life, and it's whoever gets the most money at the end wins.
Oh, I never played it.
It's very capitalist.
I do definitely like what's it called, Cluedo.
Cluedo is good because you beat my parents.
I beat your entire family at Cluedo. It was quite I was worried for a second because that was the first Christmas.
I would be.
That was the first Christmas I'd spent at theirs. So yeah,
Do your parents play board games at Christmas?
Do my parents play board games? No.
No.
Oh no.
Okay.
We socialize.
You drink.
Yeah, we drink. We talk. We don't have forced interaction through board games.
Some of us need that.
No, we like I said, my dad will. The most interaction we get, my dad's like going, "Shall I get another bottle?" We go, "Okay then," and then we kind of stumble to bed. That's what Christmas is all about.
Well, I look forward to it.
Christmas is all about lots of wine, mince pies, and just copious amounts of food and alcohol.
Fair enough.
From M&S or Tesco.
Either or.
Yeah. It'll be a little less homemade, I think, this year for you.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm up for a different Christmas. I've done the same thing every year with my parents, so I'm up for doing something slightly different.
Is that what you're going to say to them when they give you food? Like, oh, this is different?
I would never say that to your dad.
Okay, good. Good. So he's very house proud.
Exactly.
House proud and food proud.
I know how food proud he is because we are quite similar.
Yes.
So I get him.
He does great bacon and crackling.
So he's good at crispy meat.
He is good at crispy meat. You're good at the other. Anyway, let's talk about video games.
Sloppy meat there.
Yeah, wet, sloppy meat.
Lovely. Also, speaking of the wedding, we are very much looking forward to seeing.
Speaking of sloppy, wet meat.
No, we are very much looking forward to meeting lots of people from the community.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
We are, yes. There are lots of community folks there. So that would be fun. Yeah. I haven't been to Bristol since I saw Chase and Status, I think, in a DJ set, and I wasn't drinking. I was literally
How
standing.
How can you not drink for that?
I don't know. It was horrible. Somebody else.
Some people don't drink, obviously, but
Chase and Status is not a sober.
It's proper raving music.
Chase and Status is not a sober person's favorite artist.
No.
Okay. Let's talk about games then, because we have been playing a fair few games, which you didn't think you had, and then
I was thinking before this, what have I played this week? And I'm like, actually quite a lot. I can continue the Final Fantasy theme with Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis.
Oh my god, yes, Ever.
Which is a new mobile game, which is a recreation of Final Fantasy VII. And it's abysmal.
You were enjoying that.
Absolutely abysmal.
You were enjoying that.
Well, I was enjoying it at the start. It lulled me into a false sense of security.
That's what they do.
I know. Shocking. Mobile tactics. So essentially it is the original Final Fantasy VII. It's Crisis Core, which is the spin-off with Zack Fair. And then The First Soldier, which was a mobile game from a couple of years ago that now doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, the Battle Royale?
Yes.
Oh, really?
But I think there was a story with that. And so what they've done is they've combined those three into one game called Ever Crisis, and it's mission-based. So it's going through the story of all three of those, but bit by bit in different missions. Missions last like 2 minutes. So it's probably a bit of dialogue and a cutscene, maybe a battle. That's it. Move on. And I love the graphical style of it. It is, especially for the original, it is taking the look from the original sort of Lego people, but modernized slightly. So they still look very chunky, quite Kingdom Heartsy actually. And then battles are full 3D sort of remakes, or aiming for a remake level of graphics. And battles are a sort of new twist on the ATB system. So you have a number of abilities along the bottom. Actually, it's a bit like 13. You have a number of abilities, and then your ATB gauge comes up and gradually moves up, and it consists of a number of segments. So it might be that a fire spell is 3 segments. So you wait for it to go up, and then once it does, fire's highlighted, you click it, and you do fire, and then it goes back again. Or you wait a bit longer and maybe get 5 segments, and then maybe that's enough for a bigger spell. And so that's how it works. And you only really control one character in a party of 3. It's very easy. It mostly plays itself because they also attack automatically. There were times where I literally put my phone down and they just attacked automatically, and I got an S rank at the end and literally didn't even press a thing. So it mostly plays itself until you get to a boss where you have to have a little bit more strategy. You can alternate between attack and defense, which buffs either your defense or attacking powers, etc., etc. So on the surface, it's quite cool. It's like a nice, different, fun way of experiencing the saga of Final Fantasy VII. And it forces you, annoyingly, to go through sort of some of 7, and then it jumps to Crisis Core.
Okay.
So you can't just select like one of those 3 stories. You are forced to do it in a specific order, which is quite irritating because I just want to play the original, to be honest. I also want to play the First Soldier because one of the big things in this game that they've advertised are some new missions with a young Sephiroth. So it's like brand new story that hasn't been seen before with young Sephiroth. Unfortunately, that doesn't actually exist in the game at the moment. So you have to complete all of what's there and then wait for an update where they're going to add that in. So that's really annoying. The problem with the game, on top of some minor annoyances with all of that, is microtransactions. It is a fucking avalanche, you could say, of microtransactions. Microtransactions, exactly. Every single possible thing in this game that could be monetized has been monetized.
That's so weird because you were playing at the start and you were like, there aren't any.
Well, there are lots of pop-ups that happen, and you just sort of go, okay, fine, I'll close it. But I feel like I've got to a point now where it really, really wants me to pay. And there are loads of things. You can buy red crystals, which is your main currency. You can buy like a pack of those for £2 or like 70 quid. You can spend that on loads of different things. There's a gacha mechanic for different weapons, so you've got to spend money on that. Or, it introduces a whole chocobo farm, and you're like, great, you can send your chocobo off on expeditions, which take a certain amount of time. Obviously, you can pay to speed that up. Just every little thing that you can possibly think of has been monetized. There are like a million different currencies or different items that act as currencies. So it's like there's tickets, there's gil, there's blue crystals, there's red crystals, there's various items. Some of them are materials and they enhance your weapons. You can pay for pretty much all of them. It just feels like it's really preying on nostalgia and fans to make money out of this. And by design, it's incredibly confusing. There are, like I say, so many different items, different terminologies. It's just bombarding you with pop-ups. It's really confusing to play. If you just want to go through the story and do missions, you can just do that one by one, which is fine. But you get to a point where you're just not strong enough. So then you have to go into all the extra side content, which is different daily quests and bonus quests and event quests and whatever else, which then give you different items to use to level up and bum, 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 bum. So you're sort of forced to do all of the extra stuff in order to just get through the story, which is all I want to do.
I don't think you're the target for that type of thing. Like those kind of mobile games do exist, but they're very rare.
Yeah, and there will be some people who will play it and will spend lots of money on it and maybe have a good time with it if you've got the money to spend. But I just hate that style of gameplay and style of design, and I refuse to spend money on it.
Do you think maybe if you wait until some like later updates, they'll make the earlier parts a bit easier? Do you think it'll just be like the kind of like the later story stuff that they've released will be the hardest to get into? So when they release maybe the young Sephiroth, like the missions that include the young Sephiroth stuff, the stuff that you can't really beat now, will that actually be easier to get through, do you think?
Probably not, because they want you to pay. So
but, yeah, I mean, if you're reaching quite a kind of big paywall now that's making it really difficult to continue, I wonder if they'll move that back as they release more things? Because otherwise people are going to be like, I've spent like 500 quid on this thing and I'm still, under level for whatever.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, maybe they will as time goes on, but I wouldn't be surprised. It is horrible mobile game design, basically. And it's a shame because I think it's quite an interesting way of experiencing the game on the go. And with Rebirth on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, myself included, would really love to replay Final Fantasy VII. And this is quite a nice way of doing it as a little reminder of all these little mini missions that you can play on the train.
Yeah.
But it feels really predatory. And I don't like that at all.
No, I hate mobile games like that. And I've experienced a fair few. Even stuff like, I mean, there are some that will have microtransactions in there, but they just kind of cover up the gameplay. For example, what was it called? Good Pizza, Great Pizza, I think it's called. That is available on Steam. You can get it. I think you just buy it and then you can play it. But on mobile, you can't buy it. You just download it. It's free. But then they've added all these microtransactions and you wait certain times and then you can see it. You can watch an ad. I hate that way. You can watch this advert and you'll get some currency.
I hate that.
It's like, it's just so transactional. And I hate ads in a game. Just let me pay for a game. I'll pay the price of what the game is. I mean, this Final Fantasy Ever Crisis one, it sounds like there's going to be some interesting content in there. It'd be great if you could pay a certain amount and just play it. But then if that happened, then they know that they wouldn't get the money from these whales.
Well, that's the thing. If it was just the story mode on its own and it was correctly balanced in terms of difficulty with a difficulty curve, rather than relying you to, do other missions and pay. If it was just that, genuinely, I'd pay a tenner to have that on my phone and just sit and play through the story as a story mode and just have that. I'd pay 10 quid for that.
Yeah.
But they know that if they make it free, but then, you can buy whatever currency in packs of 70 quid, people will go and do that.
Yep, they will. And unfortunately, I'm contributing to this. Not with Ever Crisis, but I have re-downloaded Marvel Snap.
Oh.
I re-downloaded it and I have immediately, within seconds of it downloaded, I bought the season pass with 10 levels. But because I took a fair bit of time off, I didn't finish the last season pass. I think I got it. I think. Yes, I did, because it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think, wasn't it? So I bought it, but I never finished it. And now there's the new season pass, which is, we're currently like 3 weeks into it out of 5. And I bought it, and I just feel like I'm not missing out. I don't need to do every single weekly quest, every single daily quest. Because before I was getting a little bit like addicted where I had to log in and go and do it.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, you know what? I'll go in and do it. I will get the season passes because I do enjoy them. And also they give you a card that, like they automatically give you a card that's come out with that season. Whereas if you miss that, then you're going to have to just hope for good luck later on. You probably won't get it for quite a while. So I've been just doing that, but just been goofing around. I've lost a fair few, even though like my ranking has gone down a lot now because I don't know what the meta is. I'm going through like all my little decks that I've got and working out which one's working. But so far, I've not been kind of grabbed in fully playing, 20 games in a row. But it's just enjoyable. And I kind of wish that I'd installed it at the end of the previous season, because that's one thing that you can do in the game. You can really you can wait till the last week of the season, then it might be 4 or 5 weeks, and just go and blitz it if you want. And it can be quite enjoyable because you're constantly unlocking things and you're constantly leveling up. Whereas if you're doing it as and when they're released, it can be a bit of a slog and it turns into a bit of a chore. But now we're like 3 weeks, in the 3rd week out of 5. I've cleared quite a few of the missions, but I'm just going in, doing a few, and then stopping.
Yeah.
So I've not been spending just the season pass, and that's it.
Good.
You can
some self-restraint.
Yeah, and you can buy a lot. You can buy a lot of things with money. There's some options where you can spend £90 if you want to get certain like gold, but the gold is just for like leveling up your cards or buying specific variants of cards. So it's more like getting these exclusive looks. And yeah, I mean, technically, if you're leveling up your card, your overall collection level goes up, which then gives you these bonus like caches to unlock. And then they could have a new card in it. So people will say that Marvel Snap is not pay to win, but it can be. If there's a card that you're missing, you could technically pay loads and loads of money so that eventually you'll get so many caches that I'm sure the card will be in one of those. But it's nothing like Ever Crisis or the typical pay to win ones. And it's
Yeah.
I've played, like, we've got a friend who works at Square Enix, but is working but he plays it constantly, plays it absolutely non-stop. And he sent me his deck, sent me a picture of his deck. And
I bet.
yeah, hello.
Thanks for that.
Thanks, Luke. He sent me a picture of his deck, and every single card that he had is like, this is the one I use. I had every single one of those cards. And I just get the season pass. There was some stuff on there that maybe was a season pass exclusive a while ago, but is now just in the general kind of loot pool. But there's nothing... It's not pay to win. And I
guess it's just giving you options because you pay and that it gives you more chances to get cards, and then that just gives you a wider pool of options in order to make a strategy. But it's relatively well balanced.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, if you buy this one card, then you're going to win everything. I mean, Galactus was a bit like that, and they've nerfed it, and it's a bit frustrating to use.
The thing is, like, the way to get new cards, okay, you can buy new variants, but I don't believe the variants that you can buy, you can't. I think you can only buy them if you've got the base card. So the only way of getting the base card are if you claim one, because I think every season you can claim one of a previous season, which is not paid for. You can use collector tokens to get them, which you can't buy. It's impossible to buy. And the other one is upgrading your collection level, which you do when you level up your cards. And leveling up those cards, the best way to get level up is just to play the game. I feel like that game is, first, it wants people to play them. They want people to play it before they want people to necessarily pay money. I think they understand that if a lot of people are playing it and it's a really enjoyable experience, people are going to buy the season pass. People are going to care about their collection and about what their cards look like.
They get hooked on it first and then think, oh, right, now I want to maintain that and I want to do more. Yeah. And then you spend money.
It just does not feel as predatory whatsoever as a lot of them.
Yeah.
Speaking of predatory, I've also played another mobile game.
Oh.
Going into another one. I've played Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Oh.
I've played a few hours of it.
And how has that been? Because I downloaded that when that first came out a good few years ago now.
Yeah.
And I played it for like a day and was like, this is terrible.
It's Animal Crossing mobile and it's enjoyable. It's just kind of, there are monetary bits in there. Like there is monetization, obviously, but I'm still quite early on in it, and it's similar to Ever Crisis, I bet, where the games where they do that, and then later on you're like, oh no, I need all of this. I want to buy some, and then it starts becoming more expensive. But it's weird because they have like subscriptions. Like there's one that's, let me see if I can find it.
A subscription for what?
They have subscriptions for different ones. Let's have a quick look. Because they have, but they've got a subscription that's, oh, that's the wrong one. They have a subscription that's 79 cents per month.
Per month. Okay.
Per month. So they've got different subscription levels, but they've also got lots of different subscriptions. I'm just waiting for it to load so I can see. They obviously have their, their daily quests, or the missions and various other little things that pop up.
Before you do that, what is the objective of the game?
I think it's to level up your character. So your character levels up, unlike Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Okay.
And to get friendship levels with people, with other characters. And as you increase those friendship levels, you'll unlock certain currencies or maybe items, various things by chatting to them. And it's sometimes nice to just wander around and chat to them. So I've just logged in now and I got two calling cards. And he goes, next time your login bonus will include an alpinist's hat.
Alpinist?
Yeah, alpinist's hat. And now I've got another login bonus. I got 5,000 bells. Next time your login bonus will include a brown gift.
Lovely.
Genuinely says includes a brown gift.
I mean, it's a little pyramid in like brown wrapping paper, but sure, it might just be a shit in a box.
It's a shit in a box. So I got that.
Thanks, Tom Nook.
That's my login bonus for today done. Oh, and a tournament result. I got a woodfish trophy because I got 171 centimeters of fish last night.
Bet you did.
I'm still not quite sure how to change my character. So he's a little skinhead ginger kid, with a red nose, which is fine. And now it's, here we go. Like there's another thing that's coming up. Sable's sewing spot, Mabel's reading spot. I'm always working at the shop, so this is a nice change of pace. So I think I can go and I can go and visit Mabel and Sable's shop. Okay, but now once I've logged in, it's like, okay, here there's a little exclamation mark. And I'm like, what's the exclamation mark? Oh, it's in my mailbox. But there's a thing called free trial. And you go, click on free trial. What's that? That sounds interesting. And here we have the Happy Helper plan, which the Happy Helper plan gives you 60 leaf tickets per month. You can walk around with your camp caretaker. So like one of the camp villagers, but it's not your village because you're in a camp.
Yeah.
They will go and like help you and do various things. That is $2.99 a month, but you can get it free for one. There's a furniture and fashion plan that gives you another type of currency, 5 cookies each month. You can save your layouts, which apparently you can't. More room to dress your best, which is good because I need to work out how to actually dress myself. But you get 5 fortune cookies each month. You can save the layouts on your saved, so you have different sets for your camp. So you can just go and cycle through whichever set.
Okay.
You can save 20 more outfits. You can buy discounted items from traveling merchants and use the album feature. You can react using special stamps. Crafting times are shorter. So when you craft, I had to wait a minute to craft a sofa yesterday.
Okay.
So it's one of those timed ones a bit. But that one is $7.99 each month. And then there's the other one, which is many memories, which gives you like 20 leaf tickets, a planner design, sticker shop, step count sticker in your planner, and all these other little things. And that's 79 pence. So I guess it would be $1 a month there. But there's that, and it still pops up, but you've still got a million other things to do. There are loads of quests, loads of goals, loads of like dailies, weeklies. There's various like squares that you have to kind of tick off, but you can just goof around in it if you want. You don't need to do that. If you want to make friends, you just chat with people, and they might have a little quest for you to do. But so far, I've not reached anything where I need money. And I've got, it said like for the 79 pence a month, you get 20 tickets.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 213, and I think I had about 1,000 at one point. So it's like, it doesn't seem too much, but like you can buy them separately, and it does cost a fair bit.
So for people out there who maybe got really into New Horizons during the pandemic and all of that stuff, would you recommend that mobile game?
I don't recommend any mobile game with microtransactions, with currencies and stuff like that, except for Marvel Snap. It's nice, but just be careful. Like, just go and play it which I think Cafe Ella, who is a streamer and she loves a kind of cozy, relaxing games, Animal Crossing style. She's like, she logs in and she'll just go in there and just have a little kind of chilled time for 10 minutes, maybe talk to a couple of people, do a little bit of fishing, that kind of thing. And you can ignore all the other stuff.
Yeah.
So far, that is what I'm aware, that you can ignore that. Whether later down the line it becomes a lot more aggressive, I don't know. But I don't know how aggressive Nintendo would be with a game that's probably going to be played a lot by children.
Yeah, they probably want to be fairly careful, I guess. But yeah, it's still a mobile game. You've still got to make money out of it, even if it's free to play.
And there are the big transactions like those little tickets. So there's certain tickets that you get, and I think you can use a ticket to like instantly craft something. Maybe if it's a bit more detailed, you can get that. But I mean, I've got 250 of those tickets, and I was making a sofa, and I needed one. But you can buy 2,500 tickets if you want for £80. But I get those ones, to me, seem a little bit unnecessary, and maybe for the people that just want everything immediately now, and I think maybe the monthly ones, maybe a parent says, okay, you know what, I'll get you this one, you'll get £8 a month and you get your free little things, now don't ever bother me for any money. So maybe that's what they've done there. I don't know, I don't mind it. I might play it every now and again when I just want something a bit chilled. If Marvel Snaps piss me off, then I'll go and relax with that.
Yeah,
because like when you have a really stressful game, you like to relax with something chilled, don't you?
That's what you did there. Also a Nintendo game. Pikmin. I saw credits on Pikmin today.
You're actually further than me now.
Slightly, because I've gone... Basically, you see credits, but it's quite obvious that the story is not complete at that point, and you haven't collected everything at that point because there are ongoing missions, so it's obvious that there is a lot more. I don't know exactly how much more, but I've at least gone to the next area. Literally, the next bit is a whole new area that you haven't even been to before. So I've done a little bit of that. But just in general, Pikmin is super chilled. It's pretty easy. even if you have a moment where you accidentally lose a load of Pikmin, you can just rewind and try again.
Have you 100%ed all the first 4 areas?
Yes.
So you've got 100 Pikmin now?
Yes.
Right. I wonder if you get any more. I think 100 might be the most.
Maybe. But I suspect there are more onions to get.
Yeah, different types.
For
of
the different
Pikmin.
types.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and you want to upgrade Ochi and get all the different items, and there's still a lot to do in the game. But it's, like I say, it's super chilled. It's relaxing. It's a fun Sunday afternoon game to just not think too much. Yes, there's puzzles and there's sort of multitasking bits, but it's not an overly complicated game. And I quite like that about it. It's fun and creative without being difficult. And sometimes that's what you need. Especially as I have a tendency to play quite difficult games. Sometimes.
So let's
I've
move on from Pikmin.
I've not played Armored Core this week.
Yes.
But I will be playing Liza P next week. So
Can't wait to hear about that.
yes, that will be next week.
Tuesday.
Yes, I'm going to be playing that on Tuesday. So next week's podcast, I'll be talking about Liza P, which is a whole of the Souls-like to talk about. So that'd be nice.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
But what game have you failed to win?
Well, there's two. The first is F-Zero 99. Now, this was announced at the Nintendo Direct this week, which we will talk about a bit in the news. But it was newly announced and was released straight away. It follows Super Mario 35.
Yeah, I corrected you, didn't I?
Thank you. And Tetris 99, in that it is a remake of like a SNES game or NES game where it's remade as a battle royale. And you're up against 99 other people. With Tetris, it was just,
99 or 98?
Sorry, 98 other people, so there's 99 in total.
All
right,
right, you're not good with numbers.
Game maths.
Yeah,
all right.
You and your numbers.
So Tetris was you getting as many lines as possible in the game, and trying to beat everybody else. And you get knocked out one by one until you're the last person standing.
I got 4th once.
That's very good.
I like Tetris. I'm a Tetris fan.
I'm
not very good at it.
I'm useless at it. I love F-Zero, and I feel like I'm quite good at F-Zero. Not in this game.
Okay, well.
So you are racing against 98 other people, and you're probably thinking, how the hell do you fit that many people on a track? You can't. That's kind of the point. So it's actually at the very start, it's like a really wide track.
Okay.
And it's got all of them lined up, like all of you in like sort of 2 rows, basically, sort of jagged.
Yeah.
And you basically all race down this funnel onto the track, and then you do the track, and it's 4 laps. And it's utter mayhem. So one of the things, for me, what I like about F-Zero is that it's quite pure in terms of racing. So you don't have items like in Mario Kart or Wipeout, obviously basically copying F-Zero. Wipeout has weapons like guns and the shock and all that kind of stuff. F-Zero isn't. It's just you racing, and you can bash into people. You can spin to like smack into them and basically hit them off. But it's quite sort of elbows out brutish. It's more like speed. You want to just beat everyone. And it thrives on that sense of speed, and it thrives on grip and tight controls to get around these like really, really windy courses. But with 99, it really puts the emphasis on aggression and battle, because you are basically racing in a washing machine. It's or like a pinball machine. Like you're bouncing off everybody else all over the place. So it kind of feels like you're stuck in traffic constantly, and you can't quite get through. Now, its little twist that it adds is the super boost, which takes you to the sky track.
Saw that.
So as you hit people, especially if you do like a spin attack on them, this yellow energy comes off. And when you collect that, your meter goes up. And when that hits the top, you press the boost button and you go flying upwards onto the sky track. That is a streamlined version of the track. So basically, if there's a really windy bit of track, you want to use it beforehand.
Okay.
Because it will be a straighter version to then overtake everyone above. So you don't have to drive through everyone, basically.
Yeah.
So a lot of the skill and the strategy is around when to deploy your super boost at the right moment. But you are rewarded with more yellow energy as you smack into people. And if you can KO someone, so if they're really low on energy and you hit them, you get a massive surge in yellow energy, which then helps you to get to the sky track again. So basically, it really rewards aggressive play. And that's just not really how I play F-Zero normally. I like the skill of understanding the track and speeding ahead. So it's just carnage, pun intended. And it makes it luck based, I think, more than anything. Also, when people get knocked out, it doesn't mean that they're out of the race entirely, because what it does is it then adds them in as this sort of weirdly controlled little character or machine that you can then steer into the other races while they're still going. So the track still feels clogged up with 99 people, even though people are getting knocked out, which is annoying because you just never really have clear space.
Yeah.
So there are other modes.
Yeah, but haven't you won in like a team battle before or something?
Yeah, so there are other modes. There's the 99 mode, which is the main one. And then there are other modes which rotate. I think it's like every 10 or 15 minutes, it rotates what that mode is. So sometimes it will be a mini Grand Prix and it's 3 races and you've got to try and get through all 3 and get sort of between all 3 a top mark rather than just winning 1.
Okay.
Or it might be that there are pro tracks, so it's the more difficult tracks. I should say this is all based on the SNES game. So it's SNES graphics, it's SNES tracks. You have a choice with the main mode, you have a choice of 2 tracks that you can vote on. It tends to be the same sort of 4 or 5, but then there's a pro track thing you can go through. And then there's the team battle, which is probably my favorite actually, because it just splits everyone 50-50 into 2 teams, so like pink or green. And it feels almost a bit like Splatoon in that you're as a team, and it's not just about who comes first in the highest position, it's about how many KOs you get and how much damage you do and how many spin attacks you do. So even if you're right at the back, you can still smack into the enemy and like contribute to the team.
Does that keep people like there till the end as well?
Yeah, exactly.
Stop them
Exactly.
DCing.
So, and then it becomes a team effort, and it's literally you win or lose based on your team, and that's really cool. So I quite like that. The best and worst mode is the Grand Prix. So as you complete all of these different modes, just by experiencing it, your meter goes up, your experience meter goes up, and you get gold tickets. You can spend those gold tickets to go into the Grand Prix, and that is, I think, like once a week they're doing that, sort of over a weekend. So that's when you can spend all your tickets, and that is, I think, 5 races, one after the other, and you've got to try and get through them all. But after each race, it whittles down the total number. So it starts with 99, and then it goes down to like 75, and then it goes down to 50, and then it goes down to whatever. So by the time, if you can get to the last race, I think there's probably only 20 people on the track. So suddenly it feels much more like a normal F-Zero game.
And how did you do in that final race?
I have not got to the final race yet, and it is pissing me off because I feel like for me that's the real like meat, and that's the real test of this game, is to get through that. And it, you know, you start off thinking getting through the first race isn't too bad. As long as you manage your energy, you can get through it, you should be fine. And by the time I'm going through those races, I am on the edge of my seat. My teeth are clenched, and I'm gripping the controller. I'm sweating. I'm screaming, and I'm thinking, I'm like the final corner. Just keep boosting to get to the end. And then someone hits me right at the end, and I explode. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
You did shout that a few times. In fact, I heard that a few times today, but I think that was a different game.
Yes.
What? Yeah, didn't you get killed on the line?
Pretty much, yeah. And that's happened more than once, which is my fault for boosting on the final straight, trying to get to the end to beat everyone. But yeah, it is. It feels like it's more luck based than anything, and it is not the F-Zero game that I would like. They have not released an F-Zero game since F-Zero GX on the GameCube, which is one of my all-time favorite games, and this is not quite the return that people want. Miyamoto has said, or has always said, and this is for every game series, but particularly F-Zero is when it's come up. He's always said that for a new entry in a series, there needs to be something unique and different for it. They're not just going to repeat the same gameplay with a lick of paint. So that's why when you look at Mario Kart, for instance, every one has been different. You know, with the GameCube, it was going for 2 players. With the Wii, it was tilt controls. With Deluxe, it was the sort of anti-grav tracks. So who knows what they'll do next? And that's what they want to do with F-Zero, but they're like, oh, we don't know what to do. It's really easy. You just make it online, and then you let people design their own tracks. That's all you have to do, and then just put it in HD. Just give us that, Nintendo, please. So they haven't done that. They've given us a weird little Battle Royale mode. But as an example of F-Zero online, I actually really like it. In that if this was a mode on top of like a tournament mode online in a sort of standard 30 player or whatever that it normally would be, if this was an option as part of an online mode, it would be great. And I think this is a good example of what they could do, and I'm really hopeful that it might give them a kick up the arse to actually bring back F-Zero.
Hope so.
We'll see.
Well, they brought back Mario after bringing out Mario 35.
Of course, and Tetris, that long lost series.
And there's been another game that's really wound you up. Before we go and have a look at what other people have been playing, what's the other game that's been... Well, actually, and also when I talk about what game I've been playing.
True. So, it's not out yet. It's out on Wednesday, publicly.
Exclusive.
But there has been a public beta this weekend. Beta or beta?
Beta. It's not... I think beta...
Is that official?
Beta.
Or is that
Actually, I think beta might be American.
A beta.
Beta. A beta. Better. Should be better.
I wish it was better.
Better.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, there was that this weekend, so I've been playing that. And
beta.
That is...
Let's see. Wait.
Beta. There we go. It's a beta.
Barely know
her. And this is for a game called Party Animals.
Woohoo!
Which is one of the most wishlisted games on Steam, if not the most wishlisted.
It's weird because it's coming out on Game Pass.
It is. It's been a couple of years coming. People have been very excited about it.
I played the early access about 3 years ago, 2 years. No, it was 2 years ago. It was 2020. So 20. Yeah, it's been 3 years.
Yeah. And essentially, it's Gang Beasts with a lick of paint. In essence, in that it is a party game where you battle people in an arena, but it has silly controls and very silly wonky physics that is meant to be very slapstick and
got weapons as well
and funny.
Gang Beasts never had a weapon.
No, exactly. There are weapons in this as well, and there are different arenas with different obstacles, like Gang Beasts, but some of them have different modes of play. So, for instance, there's one where it's not about hitting people off. It's about getting an electric ball and throwing it in the goal. But the ball explodes if you're not careful. So there's little modes like that. Yeah, there's little modes like that as well. It's not just battle. I will preface this by saying that I don't like Gang Beasts.
What? Why not?
I don't like it.
Why not?
And I know that is maybe controversial because a lot of people love it.
Mm-hmm. Especially my community.
Yes, exactly. And I've played with people. I think I appreciate that it's a silly party game.
It's a party game.
When you play with other people and you as a party and you have fun, that's fine.
It's not about winning. It's about having fun.
Okay, and that's this is my real conundrum with Party Animals. Because I think it's probably better than Gang Beasts.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it looks better. I think it sounds better. I think there's more variety. I think it probably runs better. It's just I really struggle with this kind of game because I am very competitive. And
We've noticed that.
I genuinely think I might actually have anger problems. And
I could tell you that.
Games like this really bring it
with
out
games. In me. You definitely have anger problems.
With games. And this really brings out the worst in me. And I don't like myself when I play this.
Same. I mean, there are other games that have... No, genuinely, there are other games as well that, I'm like, okay. Because I don't want to say to you, this is an intervention, by the way.
Thanks.
I don't want to say to you, it's only a game, because I think that makes it worse.
It does. That's patronizing, and I don't like that.
No. Because there's things like, Elden Ring, for example, you were getting very angry at that.
We talked last week. Okay, but we talked last week on Inbox about difficulty in games. And I don't mind difficulty in games if I know it's difficult and if I feel like it's fair. So at least for the sort of challenge that I like, the Souls games for me are a good level where, because the controls are responsive and because it gives you all the tools and because you can level up and grind and whatever, there are ways of getting through the game. So it always feels like it's fair. There's always a chance of getting through, even if it feels difficult. What irritates me about Gang Beasts and also Party Animals is the fact that it is specifically and purposefully bad. Like, the controls are bad.
Maybe you just haven't
The
got it right.
physics are bad. And it's on purpose because it's meant to be funny and slapstick. What you're doing is completely wiping out the necessity of skill. And it's just pure luck of button bashing and hoping that you get people in the right way. And it pisses me off because I end up losing and I feel like it's not my fault. And it's because the game, like the number of times in Party Animals, okay, you can pick up weapons this time, right? So say I go and pick up a crossbow. I walk up to it and I press the button to grab it. And your character just grabs everything but that weapon. They will grab the person next to them. They'll grab the floor. They'll grab the environment. It's not funny. I want the stupid little dog to pick up the fucking crossbow. And it doesn't. And I don't expect that. I expect the game to work, and the game does not work on that level. And that pisses me
But
off.
it turns into like some kind of, bullet hell shooter if it's just going to be everybody's going to get a weapon immediately and start firing everywhere.
Well, no, because there aren't that many weapons. Hence, if you're next to one, you're like, oh, I really want that. And then your character does everything but pick it up.
Have you tried holding the button?
Yes. Then they do pick it up eventually. Or they drag it with one hand and you've got to swing it round into two. Mm-hmm. And then they start shooting and you can't aim. So you end up missing every single time. And you're like, what was the point in picking up this weapon? Because it's utterly pointless. By which point, someone's already run over and headbutted you, picked you up and thrown you off. And you're like, great. Well, that match lasted 10 seconds and I did absolutely fuck all. And it was not my fault because the controls would not let me pick up a weapon. And apparently that's fun.
You ever considered therapy?
No. I've considered not playing this game. The thing is...
Pikmin.
So, yeah, well, that's what I went and played. The thing is, like... I also, with Party Animals, I have been playing this myself alone online. And that means that you're playing with other random people. And if you're playing with friends, you can kind of forgive them a little bit for being annoying. A little bit. Just a little bit. But when it's randomers online, I'm like, who are you? Who do you think you are to beat me? Is what's going through my head.
You're laughing, but that's exactly what he thinks.
Just because I'm like, just give me a chance to like get to grips with this and like try and win. And people just, when it's just someone annoying person, I'm like, this is just irritating.
Is the problem you think you're better than everyone else?
No, it's just I want the chance to get better. And the game doesn't give you that. Because there's no skill involved.
Is there a CPU mode?
No.
Oh.
There's no CPU mode. I'm also looking through it. I don't think there is couch co-op. So I think it's online only for co-op. So that requires you to have 8 friends.
Yeah, I've got
at least. Well, 7 friends and yourself, because I think you can do 8 people basically. Playing online. You want to have voice chat, so probably Discord. Mm-hmm. Be on voice chat, and I think it's crossplay as well between Steam and Xbox. And on Xbox, it's on Game Pass. So in theory, lots of people will have access to this.
Oh yeah, and alcohol. You'll need alcohol.
And if you have all that, you'll probably have a really fun time.
I'm going to have a great time next week.
And that's fine. And to dip in and out, especially you and the community playing it on Twitch, that is honestly the perfect way to play this game.
Oh, I loved it.
And I think you'll have a lot of fun. It's just that for me, playing it over this weekend, it's just been me on my own playing against random people. Also, a lot of it...
Getting so angry. I was streaming in this room. I could hear you scream. I could hear you shouting through... Like, the door was closed for where you were in. So in the living room, there's the hallway here. You can see maybe behind me. And in here, while I was streaming, while I had a game through my earphones, I could hear, you fucking asshole, and things like that coming from the living room.
Sorry.
Quite funny, actually. There were people in the chat that could hear, actually.
Probably. I'm sorry. Because a lot of it is team-based as well. If you're playing with randomers online, you're not communicating with them. And there's no way of communicating with them because it's too fast-paced and frenetic to be able to communicate. So, like, if you're literally just playing on your own solo online, it's literally the worst experience. The thing is that that's not the way to play the game. But then don't allow people to play it that way. Just make it like a party game that's only multiplayer.
What's the progression like? What do you get? Can you?
So that isn't available in the open beta.
Beta. Yeah. We said
You
beta.
just said it was
yeah.
beta.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying beta. That's not available in the beta. The beta is literally just playing online modes. So there is progression in terms of you collect currency, but that is only to buy cosmetics. So you can dress up your characters. I should say there's a huge range of characters. I've played as the corgi, which is the mascot of.
I play as the side up.
Yes. The corgi is kind of the mascot of the game, and that's because I think it's the lead developer's wife's dog.
Okay.
I think is what they told me in an interview. So it's the mascot. So I feel like it's sort of the basic bitch choice, but also I love corgis, so I'm gonna choose the corgi.
Yeah.
And you can dress them up in silly outfits, and it's cute and it's funny and it's adorable, but it's just infuriating to play. So I think the way to play it is to play with friends in an 8-player match, and I will withhold, I guess, judgment on that until I've given that a go, because I think that is the optimum way of playing that game, and it probably is fun. I think for me, there's a real fine line between a funny game and an anger-inducing game, and slapstick is really funny when it's happening to other people, but when you're the person that's being smacked around and you can't do anything about it, it's just infuriating. And there is very little skill between those two extremes. And so for me, it is a recipe for disaster.
I mean, you get angry at golf with friends.
Oh, that game is stupid as well.
I won every single game.
Yeah, of course you did.
12, was it like 12 games?
It was
or 8?
luck is what that was.
Oh my God. Every single game. Just very quickly, I'm still going with Baldur's Gate 3. I finally got past a bit where I got to before, so I'm like, yeah, I'm no longer kind of retreading old ground.
The furthest you've ever been.
Exactly, and I'm enjoying it, although I have dropped into a couple of areas that I think are like level 5 areas, and I'm level 4, so I've backed out of those. I'm just going to go and do some exploring, because I think a lot of my side stuff, the side missions that I'm doing at the moment, are kind of based on doing stuff with your companions, and it's like travel with this person. So I think I'll explore those later, but I just need to go and do a bit more exploring before I kind of move on with, Act 2 or whatever the next part of the game is. So yeah, no, still really loving it. The one thing I've noticed, and I don't know, I haven't seen anybody ever mention this, and I don't know if it's because I'm listening with headphones or if it's on PC, if there's a little issue there. I feel like the audio quality of the dialogue by different people sounds different. Like they're obviously recorded them separately, not in the same booth with the same microphone or anything. So sometimes it's weird that the quality of someone's, when they're talking, the quality is different to the other person who is talking, which kind of, I don't know, it just cheapens it a tiny bit. But the fact that absolutely everything is voiced. I've got to the Goblin Camp, which is like one of the first like big places I think you go to. I have done 0 fighting there. How? Yeah, I haven't done any. I didn't kill a single person, except for the person who trapped me. Not a single fight.
Wait, who trapped you? I didn't get trapped there.
Well, not trapped, but yeah, I got imprisoned by a certain person.
So there's the Goblin Camp, the sort of town bit, and then you go back into the temple-y bit.
Yeah,
right?
so yeah.
And then in that area,
they were friendly.
Have you? Well, yeah, they start off friendly.
Yeah. Did you have poo on your face?
What? When have I ever had poo on my face, Ben? That is a rhetorical question. Do not answer it.
Well, no,
I've never had poo on my face.
No.
No.
No. Okay.
Did you? Have you met? Oh wait, there is a bit where you can get poo thrown at you, isn't there?
Poo on you? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
Okay, well I did, and it was neutral then the entire time.
Interesting.
However, then I went to meet somebody, so this is not necessarily spoiler, well, it is a little, because I'll try and be loose about it, but there was one person who then I was one-on-one with later. I think the chief. Sorry about this background noise. There's a fucking boy eraser outside. But then we had one-on-one, and then I refused because I'm playing the Be a Dick playthrough. So I'm just being rude to whatever anybody says to me. If you go to youtube.com/biggestbennis, you'll see everything put on there. in top quality 4K, not 4K, but 1080p, very good quality. And yeah, I got imprisoned and I was about to get killed. And all of a sudden I was saved by somebody. Did you get saved by somebody?
No, I didn't do any of this, I don't think.
I got saved by a employee of Raphael.
Okay.
I wonder if it was different for your experience.
Okay, so I'm just going to outright say what I did, okay?
That's fine. Okay, spoiler alerts. If anybody, you check the show notes because I'll probably put it on when you can skip.
So this temple area, because this was the point where I got irritated by it and I changed the difficulty.
Oh, you got all the way there? Because I've been in 12 hours in now.
Yeah, but I went to the Goblin Camp a lot earlier than you did. So when I went there, I got through the first bit and I went into the temple area. And then there's 3 goblins that you're meant to kill.
Oh, I didn't kill them.
And there's someone that you're meant to save as well.
Oh, I don't think I've been there yet.
Right. So all in that area. And did you get talking to the 3 lead goblins? Because there's like a female one who's a sort of druidy kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe I need to chat to them all again because none of them are hostile to me.
Yeah, so they don't start off that way. But then I killed one of them. And then when you do that, the whole place gets aggroed. So to run away, I ended up running through a door and ended up where I saw you were earlier with a puzzle, a sort of light puzzle, and then you go down into the depths.
Yes.
And then there's a fast travel bit there. So I was like, okay, well, I can fast travel out and come back this way, and that's fine. And it was at that point that I met Raphael.
Oh, you hadn't met Raphael by then?
No.
Oh, see, I was meeting his protege at the moment, or met someone else.
That's why I was thinking you've done things in a different order, and that's when things are interesting.
That's what I love about it. Yeah,
so I met him when I went down into the depths and was like, whoa, okay, who's this guy?
Well,
But then after that, every time I went into the Goblin Camp from then onwards, I aggroed everyone, and then I couldn't get through it, and that's when I moved the difficulty down, and then I got through it, and then all has been well since then.
Yeah, no, the Goblin Camp. So I was separated. I was sent to this prison in the basement, which is kind of close to where that is, to where the area down below is.
Yeah.
And I was separated from the other 3 who were upstairs. But as I was downstairs and I killed a certain person that had, kept me hostage, the others upstairs did not have any aggro and stuff. They're a bit rude to you. And I've been rude back to them, but they've just been like, because obviously I'm a dick.
Yeah.
But yeah, weirdly enough, my Be a Dick playthrough hasn't involved killing them. Some things have happened.
Oh.
I let a child get killed by a snake.
Good.
I
probably deserved it.
Well, then did I tell you about this in the last podcast? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Because then I left her. Like, oh dear, she's dead. Went outside and her worried parents were outside because she'd been abducted and taken into this place. And the parents were like, oh, what? Do you have any news of her? Do you have any news? And I replied, yeah, she's fine. and then walked off. And then one of the people in my party was like, yeah, we'll let someone else tell them. I then tried to pickpocket a shopkeeper. He found out, so I had to knock him out. There's been lots of weird and wonderful stuff happening. I made a child cry. I pickpocketed a dead person, ended up in prison.
Have you slept with anyone yet? That's the big question.
No, but I did let a vampire suck me until I died.
I bet.
And then I had to get another person in my party to resurrect me. So it's been quite, and I jumped into a chasm. I also chatted to I don't know what it was, some kind of monster, like a wolf, like a devilly horned on its back legs type thing. And I convinced it to attack the innocents inside a cave.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
So he went and killed those innocents in the cave that I was meant to be rescuing, and then turned on his own kin, and then I killed him. Oh no, I convinced him to kill himself.
Yep, I did that.
I got some good rolls, and he killed himself, and I'm like, great, and I just picked up everything. Then I jumped into a chasm and died.
Great,
because I thought that was a hole to go somewhere.
No,
but no. Now I've learned that if you hover over something and it says chasm, don't jump into it. So that's been my experience with Baldur's Gate 3 so far. I'm going to be doing another stream on tomorrow, actually, of Baldur's Gate 3. I think that will be my last one until...
Monday, let's say.
Yes, so
Because
tomorrow,
this
yes.
will be out tomorrow.
Although I think
'cause
I
today
did-
is Sunday.
I think I did start the podcast by saying it was the 17th when it's actually the 18th right now. It's Monday.
Well, when people are listening,
Yes.
yes.
So that will be, today, Monday. And then I think I will be taking a break until November because October is Stream It Beat It month for my job. I work at Great Ormond Street Hospital Charity. We've got a big streaming event going on in October, getting people hopefully to fundraise for us while streaming and raising money for the New Children's Cancer Centre. So every one of my streams is going to be something, maybe a horror stream, maybe it's a baking stream, maybe it's Animal Crossing where people can go and donate and plant a flower in there or whatever. There's going to be lots of fun and exciting things that I'll hopefully be able to kind of introduce a little bit of a twist to make it a streaming type or as to make it a donation type thing. I've got like a week and a half now to
I need to think of something as well.
think. Wait a minute.
I meant to be supporting you in this.
You are, and I've just realised something.
What?
Next Sunday is still September.
Mm-hmm.
So it won't be my last stream of it tomorrow, will it?
No.
No. So I lied.
You lied.
Honestly, I don't know.
There is plenty more Baldur's Gate to come.
I've got so much work to do in my head that this is happening like on Sunday, but it's a week on Sunday that
You've
it
got
starts.
time, Ben. You've got time.
Okay, that's
Don't
actually
worry.
really good. I'm very happy now. I still have lots of things to do, but
Breathe.
if you are a streamer and you haven't been approached by me, I really do apologize, but please slide into my DMs and I will send you a link.
There we go.
Shall we see what other people have been playing?
Let's. And we did this very last minute.
Yes.
And luckily, people have replied. So thank you.
Very, very lucky.
First up, Chaddy. Been continuing with Dave the Diver, currently on chapter 6, which I think could be the last one. But I'm not fully sure, but I aim to finish it soon. I need to go back to that.
That's going to
I'm
be
still on
my
the first chapter.
that's going to be my off-stream game.
Yeah.
Might play a bit tonight. Maybe not.
It's
Looking
getting
at
on
the
a bit.
time, yeah.
Yeah, it will be a good holiday game, I think, as well.
Well, I think another game's going to be my holiday game because we're going to be booking a holiday soon, aren't we?
Hopefully, yeah.
To
What are you going to play?
Final Fantasy 7, the original.
Oh, you're going to play that on
I'm
holiday?
going to play the original on holiday. Why not?
Interesting. And
So I can play
will
on the
not
Switch as
and
well.
it means I can't watch over your shoulder.
She's going to be fantastic.
I'll still help you if you need it.
I don't.
If
need
you
it.
need.
I don't.
Okay. Fine. Chaddy, I also tried the demo of Sea of Stars, which I enjoyed, but it annoyed me that I died, and it sent me back a bit as it is an autosave. Unsure if I will pick up the full title or not. There is an autosave because it saved my life because I was doing a load of stuff right near the end of the game and played for about an hour and hadn't saved on a save point, and then it crashed, and I was distraught. But it also saved for a couple of minutes beforehand. So there is an autosave. It's just that it's not massively frequent. So you still need to make an effort to save at save points. Please give it another chance. Honestly, I love that game. Absolutely love that game. Amanda Sloan crits. I've been playing Starfield.
Did I talked about that. Yeah, I finished it.
Yeah, we did that last week.
Yeah, okay.
And really been enjoying it even more than I thought I would.
Same.
Even though it's kind of buggy in places, I'm super hooked on the story and my own personal mission to flirt with everyone who gives me the option to.
Yeah,
That sounds
I
fair.
was like that, but with the men. But yeah, no, I genuinely with Amanda, I agree. It surprised me and the story kind of grabbed.
Yeah, Amanda continues. And Tom and I have been playing Diablo 4 together, which is a bit meh to me.
Amanda seems to have a similar taste in games to us.
Amanda's got great taste in games. Particularly, she doesn't like Diablo 4. And I'm down with that. The story is okay, but I find it just kind of samey to Diablo 3. We've also been playing It Takes Two, which is maybe the best co-op game I've ever played. It's so much fun, and we are having a ball solving the puzzles together. Plus, the artwork is so fun.
My game of the year for last year?
Year before.
Year before. Yes, because last year should have been Citizen Sleeper.
Yes.
Because it was Unpacking
It
and
was
then...
Elden Ring.
and then the year before was Unpacking was our game of the year with It Takes Two second.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it should have been the other way around.
No.
That's why it's a joint decision.
If you've got more recommendations for 2-player games as well,
yeah,
definitely let us know.
We need to play A Way Out.
Yes.
I think that'd be a good stream game to watch as well.
Yes. Yuffie, the Disney Dreamlight Valley update. The Star Path is Haunted Mansion and Nightmare Before Christmas themed, and I'm excited for it. Great timing. I really want the Jack Skellington outfit. Plus, they added Belle and Beast. I'll get to them eventually. The Star Path will probably require me to hang out with them or something. Are you ever going to go back to that? I never played it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I do like it. It's just there's lots to do in it, and I don't know why I didn't love it, but there was lots to enjoy. I can't really even.
I feel
think
like you're not
why.
a big enough Disney fan.
That is true,
Because I
but
think
do
if
like
you
some.
love Disney,
Yeah.
it's like with anything. I think if you really love a franchise, you maybe put up with some of the annoying stuff.
Yeah, but I do like Disney. I mean, Disney's for me is very comforting. I don't care about the new Disney stuff. I do not give a damn about the new Disney stuff.
Like Frozen?
Yeah, Frozen I don't care about. Okay. Red. Is it Red? Red? The name of the...
Red?
Yeah. There's a thing called Red that we watched it. It's Chinese... Was it Chinese? Disney Plus? It was like the allegory for periods.
Oh! That.
Red.
I didn't think that was called Red.
Red Panda or something? Oh, I don't know. I'm sure it was called Red.
Maybe it was. I actually don't remember what it's called. I know exactly what film you mean, but I can't
Those
remember
kind of
what
things.
it's called.
Rapunzel. I know. What's the one? Brave. I don't like that. I don't care. Like, to me, Disney is very, very nostalgic. So it's maybe not even Mickey Mouse, but like Donald Duck, Goofy, but cartoons of those.
Mm.
But like old cartoons that were out when I was a kid.
90s.
Yes. That,
Late
to me,
80s,
that
90s.
Disney's to me is great. But I also definitely have a soft spot for some of the DreamWorks. Like, one of my favorite films ever is Monsters, Inc.
That's Pixar.
Yeah? DreamWorks Pixar?
No, DreamWorks is a completely different company.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't think it is.
DreamWorks is Shrek.
Yeah. Pixar and DreamWorks, they're the same.
Oh my God, they are not. Are
They
you
are.
kidding me? Pixar is Disney. DreamWorks is totally separate.
Are they the same company? While Pixar is owned by Disney and was once a brainchild of Apple Steve Jobs, DreamWorks was founded by Steven Spielberg. Oh.
Thank you.
Apparently they're not the same.
They are very much not the same.
So Monsters, Inc. and The Incredibles are different.
They're both Pixar.
Oh. What's DreamWorks then?
Shrek.
And...
Some other shit.
Oh. Well, it's all Pixar then. DreamWorks was the one...
I promise you, all the ones you like are Pixar.
DreamWorks, yeah. I like Pixar. But then wasn't Pixar Disney?
Yes.
But then it's not.
Well, it started as its own company, and then it got bought by Disney, and then they made Toy Story.
What about Hoodwinked? Which one's Hoodwinked?
No idea.
Scooby-Doo? Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, that's very different. Anyway, Disney nostalgia. That's why you don't like this.
Yeah,
Got it.
I like Shrek though.
Shrek is great.
Even Shrek the Halls. Did you like that?
No.
What?
I
Showed you at Christmas. Get you in the mood. Certainly got you in the mood.
Pancake. I played a short hike. Great game. Have you played a short hike?
No, it sounds boring.
Oh my God, it's so good.
No, you're saying that.
It's like an hour.
As Dusk Falls, that's the name of the game we were thinking of like a week ago.
Was it?
Yeah, because we were like, oh, what's the game that your friend's in?
Yes.
But I always get confused with like a short hike as ducks fall.
As ducks fall. I mean, the short hike is about a bird.
Is a short hike the one that's... Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you again. What's the one that's like a driving game? I'm guessing not hike. Where it's a driving game.
I mean, it's in the title, a short hike.
Where it's like a
drive.
roguelike driving game where you have different people joining you on the journey in each time. I'm sure it's on Apple Arcade.
I have no idea.
Okay.
It's not this.
Right.
A short hike. It's about a bird trying to get to the top of a mountain to get cell reception. You have to collect feathers to improve your flying and climbing abilities, and it's really easy to get sidetracked by side characters and short quests. It's a very sweet story in the end, and I thoroughly enjoyed learning about the main character, as well as the insurance of the island, searching for treasure, playing integrated minigames, and building my skills to get to the top. The payoff ending was also quite lovely.
Oh.
Yeah, A Short Hike is great. It's a sort of top-down, almost sort of PS1 level graphics. But you're this little bird, and I think it's a she. She has to fly to the top of the mountain. It's a bit like Celeste, basically, in order to call her mum. But there are all these little quests that you do along the way in order to gain feathers, which increase your flight. And you don't need to do everything to get to the top. So you can do it in literally, you can complete it in about half an hour if you really want. But there's loads of extra bits if you want to go and explore and little stories and stuff. And it's really, really cute. There's no combat in it. It's just really cute.
Sounds good.
You should definitely play it.
Maybe.
There we go. Thank you, Pancake. Great taste. And everybody else.
Trying to think what it was now, that game.
I have no idea what you're
But you have
talking
like
about.
different people in your car and each journey. And you go on a journey each time and it's different and it's apparently really difficult. I'm sure it'll come up.
I might recognise the title.
Yeah. Anyway. Anything else? Anybody else?
No, but we do have headlines to talk about.
Go on and tell us about that.
Let's talk about the news.
Ooh.
And there's actually quite a lot of news this week.
Mm-hmm.
But there is one thing that has been absolutely dominating the news this week, and not in a good way. And that is Unity.
Oh dear.
Now, Unity is one of a handful of game engines, which lots of indie game devs use to make their games.
Mm-hmm.
And it's owned by a big corporation of various shareholders who have obviously decided that they want to make some more money. Mm-hmm. So they have basically put in place this new controversial decision to start charging developers whenever games are installed.
Mm-hmm.
So developers will probably, I guess, pay a fee or a subscription or whatever to get access to Unity tools.
I think it's subscription.
Yeah. A bit like you would for Photoshop or whatever. It's, you pay your subscription.
Fortunately.
And then what they now want to add on to that is that every time somebody downloads your game, you have to pay a small fee. And so it could be that is a really big indie developer that, I mean, they shouldn't have to pay for this, but maybe they've got lots of money. But it could be that somebody, like a solo developer, for instance, like makes a game in Unity that completely blows up and is super, super popular, and suddenly they've got all these extra fees to pay for. Now, there are various thresholds that they've put into place to make sure that not everybody has to pay, but it's really messy, it's really unclear, and loads of developers are getting incredibly pissed off with this. Rightfully so, because they should not have to pay for this.
And there's a thing, have you seen the graph that shows like how much of the games, the percentage of how much they're going to make that they have to give to Unity? So it's like if you sell absolutely loads and you put it as a high price, then you only give a small percentage to Unity, because based on the way that this works. But there's actually a very small slither of black, which was on this graph, which means that if you price it at this amount and this number of people download it, you actually pay more money than you're making.
Wow.
Which is, wild.
Yeah, not good.
It seems like really bad idea thought out.
They also turned around and said that if a game is on Game Pass, then it's not the developer that pays the install fee, but it's the platform owner, which Microsoft is yet to comment on this from a Game Pass point of view, but I'm pretty sure Microsoft are not going to want to have all these extra fees.
No.
So God knows what's going on there. There's also, there were extra reports that came out, which were that essentially they will waive the fee if you switch to Unity's level play ad platform. So a lot of Unity games are your sort of free-to-play mobile game or whatever else that have ads as part of it. And a lot of games use AppLovin, which is the main competitor to Unity.
Okay.
But if you instead use Level Play, which is Unity's ad platform, then they will waive this fee. I.e., what they want is people to use their own tools, and they're trying to incentivize it. The head of Unity also sold off a load of shares just before this was announced, which I'm sure was locked in a while ago.
I've had a look. Apparently,
it doesn't look good.
Yeah, no, I had a look at this, and it's apparently they buy and sell shares. Like this person's millionaire, and he sold like £4,000 of shares, and apparently does it like every 2 weeks, and it's a part of the thing to keep them moving. I think someone just saw that and was like, "Oh, let's make a headline." It's not sinister, unfortunately. I know it's
Fine.
it's a nice article.
Well, it is. I mean, the thing is, you can still look at the optics of it. Like, it still doesn't look good. Like, because people won't necessarily know that, and so people will jump to conclusions, and that's not going to look good.
To be honest, I don't even know if he would know. It's like just the thing that you've got, and when you're that rich, you're like, oh, you give it to someone and be like, yeah, move these around or whatever they do. I don't know. I'm never going to be rich enough where I need to even care about that.
Yeah. So you will have seen on social media over the past week, loads of developers basically kicking up a fuss, as rightfully they should, saying that they're not going to use Unity anymore. What's difficult is when a game is sort of maybe 70% complete, and now they're saying, right, well, do we carry on and be forced to pay these fees? Or at this point, do we literally scrap our game and rebuild it in a different engine just so that we don't have to pay these fees?
Yeah.
And so all these developers are having to make these decisions, and I don't know yet if Unity are going to back down on this and say, do you know what, we made the wrong decision here because there's been such a backlash.
Yeah.
Or are they just going to double down and be like, nope, we're going to try and make money. Is this the end of Unity? It is an absolute mess. But that is the big story of the week.
Yes. However, there were two little ones that we're going to go quite quickly with.
Are we?
Yes, because it's 11:30 and I've got 2 things to upload and edit on YouTube plus a kitchen to clean. So we will do that now.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Unless you want to clean the kitchen.
No. Well, it is mostly clean anyway because I didn't use much when cooking. This is a nice one. And it's relevant.
Good.
Because we are an LGBT podcast.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about PlayStation and the Switch.
There's another one. So you will remember especially that when Starfield came out,
yes,
there were some people that were moaning about pronouns.
Yeah, I did retweet a guy who was ranting about pronouns and got over 5-6 million views on that tweet.
There you go. Because he was a twat. Now, what someone decided to do was to create a mod for Starfield that removes pronouns, and they put it up on Nexus Mods, and Nexus Mods have turned around and said no, and they've taken it down, and they've said that this is not a political statement or an alignment to one side or the other in the culture war, but it reserved the right not to host the mod on its platform. Hosting this mod was not for us, and it is certainly within our rights not to host content on our platform. It's not a political statement or an alignment to one side or the other culture war. We stand for diversity and inclusion in our community, and the removal of diversity, while appealing to many, does not promote a positive modding community.
Yeah, I mean,
thank you, Nexus.
Taking sides on the culture war like there is one, like, come on.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
I mean, that's pathetic. But also, I
saw there's a mod that adds loads of other ones as well.
Yeah, exactly. People have said, yeah, we're going to add all the neo pronouns in. So it's just, thank you, Nexus Mods, basically, for doing the right thing there.
They've done that before with things.
They have. So, one other quick one as well. Hades 2. There was a blog post from Supergiant, and early access is going to be launching early next year. So it's going to be Q2 2024. So we don't have an exact date yet, but that's when it will be early access. Same as Hades 1, it'll be early access for quite some time. They don't know how long yet before it's fully released. But yes, we'll be able to play that early next year, which will be great. The PlayStation State of Play was Thursday night.
I don't know, because I was getting really drunk drinking Jaeger bombs and all sorts of alcoholic drinks.
That's true. We were at WASD. We didn't talk about WASD.
Oh, yeah. Well, you didn't even go to WASD.
Well, I didn't go. I didn't make it in time.
Oh my God, I didn't even talk about the game I was even there playing.
What did you play, quickly?
Prince of Persia.
Was it good?
Really good. It was on Switch, though, so it looked really ugly.
Okay, but it plays well?
Plays well. The combat's fun. The combat seems quite deep, yet it's just really intuitive. Side-scrolling, kind of unlock areas with certain skills, and you go back places. And it's not...
It's a Metroidvania.
Is it? I think very loose. It's more like just a platformer. Action platformer with maybe a little slight elements. I think calling it Metroidvania might be doing...
Well, maybe in the short demo you played, they've definitely called it a Metroidvania.
Oh, have they? Okay, well, if that's what it is for the rest of it, great. And there was a boss fight that was really, really, really tough, but I didn't play it. But nobody could beat it. But I think that they'd made this demo so that people who were playing it didn't have the skills that you would at that point in the game. So of course it was going to be really difficult. Okay. Yeah, but no, it looked really low, like really poor graphics. But I think that was the Switch. Yeah. So play it. I wouldn't recommend. I mean, if you're going to play it on Switch, make sure you're playing it handheld because I imagine it looks great and fine on there. But I will be playing that definitely on PC/PlayStation.
/ Xbox.
Yeah.
Whichever one. I think it's on all of them. So yes, we were at the WASD party on Thursday.
I also played Tekken and won a match.
Congrats to you.
First time since 1998.
The state of play was not great. We watched it back afterwards.
No, we
there
didn't.
wasn't a huge amount in there.
I didn't watch it.
Well, I did. There wasn't a huge amount in there, but there are two things that are worth talking about. The first is that we now have a date for Resident Evil 4 Remake's Separate Ways DLC. And that is next week.
Oh.
In a few days' time. It's the 21st of September. Now, Separate Ways was a DLC that was an expansion, basically a side mission for Ada 1 that was added in the PS2 version of Resident Evil 4. So it was not in the original GameCube one. And they ported it to PS2 and they added in this extra mission. So basically the GameCube one looked better, but the PS2 one had extra content. So everyone's been expecting Separate Ways to come to Remake. We just didn't know when.
Mm-hmm.
They finally threw it out and it's literally next week. So you can go play that.
Brilliant. Oh, just before you move on, and we're back. I was just quickly grabbing a drink. But if you're listening or watching, you probably didn't even notice anything.
Oh, the magic.
Skilled.
The magic of editing.
Yeah, we could call that editing.
Sure. So yes, Resident Evil was the first big thing from the state of play. The other one is that we finally have a release date for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is coming out on the PS5 on the 29th of February next year.
That's not even a day. There's no 29 days in February. They're having you on.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a leap year next year.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't even clocked that. I was just like, oh, yeah, 20th of February. Oh, it's a leap year. Great.
Yeah. That's probably why they picked it.
Probably, actually.
And then the next one will come out on the 29th of February, 2028.
Yeah.
Could do, actually.
There you go.
When was the first one out?
There is a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
There is a new trailer for Rebirth. There is a lot of stuff in it. There are summons. They've shown the gold saucer for the first time. They've shown party members for the first time. Some characters you can play as for the first time, which you will see in the trailer. So there's a lot of stuff. I have written on Eurogamer a rundown of the trailer.
It wasn't 4 years. It was like a couple of months shy.
Oh.
Well, a few weeks, actually.
So there's a lot of stuff. I've done a rundown. You can go read it. But yes, lots of really, really cool things to look for. They've also confirmed at what point the second game goes up to.
Good. Well, you can keep that to yourself.
Okay, because you haven't played it yet.
No,
but again,
and I don't
you can
care.
go look up.
Yeah, I don't care about trailers that have story spoilers.
They're not story spoilers.
I don't care about trailers. Now there's a date. It's great. I'm going to go and watch it.
You always do this.
I do. I like an announcement. I don't care about other stuff that they leak
Some
out.
people like to see a game in action before they play it.
Yeah.
What they've also, there was a little asterisk in the trailer which said not available on other formats at least until the 29th of May 2024.
She's only 3 months.
January, February, March, April, May. Yeah. 5th, May. I'm just counting. So presumably...
Did you have to count what month May is?
Yeah, I can never remember.
What?
I don't know.
Why?
So...
What's wrong? That's weird.
Why is that weird?
You don't know that May is the 5th month?
Well, not off the top of my head, no.
Why not? 10th?
October.
8th?
Well, now we got August. That's my birthday.
3?
March.
Honestly, well, that's weird.
Why is that weird?
People know. Everybody knows that.
Well, some people have to count.
7?
July.
Okay, about 5.
May.
We're like teaching you. It's like a dog. You just have to keep repeating and they'll learn.
Shush. Let me finish. Anyway, people are therefore, or at least that will be the earliest that a PC version will come out. So with 7, they had to wait a year at least for the PC version. It looks like this will be quicker. So that's nice.
When you say other platforms, they mean PS4.
No. This won't come out on PS4.
iPhone 15 now.
Sure. They mean PC, unless it miraculously comes out on Xbox.
Switch 2.
Or miraculously comes out on Switch 2, but who knows?
Launch title.
You can also pre-order the collector's edition on the Square Enix website, which comes with 19 inches of Sephiroth. That's a lot of Sephiroth. It will cost you $350. But how beautiful would that look on our Kallax?
Well, if anybody would like to donate We'll stick it next to the Wiggler. Which would be bigger, the Wiggler or actually, yeah.
Is the Wiggler 19 inches?
No, that's not 19 inches.
No.
I know what 19 inches is, isn't it? It ain't that.
Oh, I bet. So yes, lots of exciting news on Rebirth. Go read all about it. And then all on Eurogamer.net, of course. And then earlier on Thursday, there was the Nintendo Direct.
And that was the much better one, I think.
It was better. They announced F-Zero 99, which I talked about earlier, but there were a few other bits that they also announced, which I will run through. Or at least I'll pick out the more interesting things. The Princess Peach game, we knew that was coming. We now know what it's called. It's Princess Peach Showtime. And it's set on a stage, and it's different theatre shows that she has to work her way through, and she takes on different... don't you fall asleep. She wears different costumes for different personas.
I mean, it looks...
like a ninja and a chef.
It looked like I would enjoy it for an hour or two.
At the very least, she's not crying and being moody like the other Princess Peach game, which was terrible. We are also getting a remake. What?
I was about to say, Trombone Champ.
Trombone Champ.
It's coming to Switch, which I never played. I feel like that would be a good game to play.
Now you can. They are also doing a remake of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, which is the best Paper Mario game. That game is phenomenal. You really need to play it. It's incredible.
I can play it now.
Well, now you can.
Now it's a new game.
Yeah.
Literally be playable.
Luigi's Mansion 2, the remake of the 3DS game. We knew this was coming, but they've now said that is coming out summer 2024. Now, that is interesting because that is the last, I think, of these games in terms of the release dates that we know.
Yes, and it's not a massive, huge game. So if that is the big one for the last of the Switch games...
Well, this is what we're expecting, basically, is what's going to be the last of the Switch games, and at what point does Switch 2 come out? Because it's widely expected to be at some point next year. So does that mean that Switch 2, therefore, certainly isn't coming out until after this point? So is it going to be Christmas next year? Or is Switch 2 going to be like summer next year, and actually this is a crossover? In which case, is Switch 2 backwards compatible to still play these new releases on?
Has to be.
So there's a lot of speculation around that. There is a new Mario vs. Donkey Kong game, which I also think you'd like, because it's platformy, but it's puzzly.
Yeah,
and I know how much you like a puzzle game.
We're getting the dregs now, aren't we? We're getting like the Princess Peach, Mario v. that. There's an old Luigi's Mansion remake. Yeah, we need to... Yeah, we're getting dregs. Metro Prime
they've also
4. shown
the Metro Prime 4 is not dregs. Secondly, is clearly coming out on the next console. Thirdly, how dare you say anything bad about Metroid? The last Mario Kart DLC is coming out this winter. We still don't know exactly when, but we're going to get Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Pauline, and Peachette. Pauline and Peachette, whoever the fuck Peachette is. Also, they're doing remasters, and this isn't just Switch, this is on all consoles, remasters of Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3.
That was probably my most exciting thing, because one of the first games I ever played was Tomb Raider 2, where you're in the little jungle area, and there are tigers, and you shoot the tigers, but I think I did kill them occasionally. But then you have to go into a little hole, and then a boulder came down, and then you had to run from the boulder and do a jump, and it just shit me up. Like, I was genuinely so scared.
Shit me up.
Oh, I used to be the most, like, what's like the correct way of just saying an absolute scaredy cat?
You can say a scaredy cat.
I was an absolute wimp when it came to like video games a lot of the time. Even when it wasn't scary, I was like Tomb Raider, I was terrified. Like if I was in a...
Those strings that come in at some points, that's pretty scary.
And like just being in a room on my own, I was like, this is eerie and weird and creepy. And I'm in a cave. Like I'm in a cave. There's nobody else around me. That is just it. Yeah, I like Tomb Raider. I want to kind of revisit it now that I'm not a child who is very,
to be fair,
scared.
Tomb Raider is terrifying. Tomb Raider is a horror game. It's
I
terrifying.
think it is, yeah.
Like, it's because of the sound, because there is no sound. It's silent for most of it.
That's the thing.
Until the music kicks in, and then it's suddenly like adrenaline music, or there's some like horrible animal that comes at you, and the combat's terrible, so you're worried you're going to die. It's silent. It's just you in this eerie environment. It's terrifying.
Yeah, games like that though. I think that was another thing in those days. I used to 1998 and stuff. I used to find games scary because there was no background music. There was hardly any. It was just complete silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tomb Raider. I'm looking forward to reliving my childhood trauma.
Yeah. If you haven't tried Dave the Diver yet, that is coming to Switch.
I think that would be a great game for Switch.
Great little handheld game. And
when's it out?
26th of October. And then lastly, Eastward is getting some DLC. Eastward I loved. It was a sort of top-down Zelda anime game. Really, really, really well done. It's getting DLC, which is a farming life game, which is at some point this winter. So on the one hand, it's more Eastward. On the other hand, it's a very different genre and not necessarily what I would want, but fine. They were the most interesting things from the Direct. So there's still lots to come on Switch, which is surprising because we are at the end of the Switch life, the lifespan, really. It's kind of the dregs, but there's a lot of it, which is nice. There's, still lots to play.
Yeah, it's a fun console.
Indeed.
And Pikmin is the only one I really care about right now on it.
Sure.
I'm looking forward to maybe DLC at some point. Actually, the Pokemon DLC came out, didn't it? And it wasn't very good. Or it runs really, really badly, even worse than the base game.
Of course it runs badly. It's a Pokemon game.
It's one of the richest companies in the world.
Yeah.
Well, gaming companies.
I know, but it's not the games that make money and they don't reinvest it.
Yeah. Depressing. Ed, where can we find you? Because that will be it for us.
That'll do.
That'll do. It's been an hour and a half, which is more than enough.
Yes.
I'm turning into my grandpa. Whenever it would be like 5 o'clock and he'd be ready to just go and, sit in the living room and just start singing, time to go home. And then we'll be like, all right, guess we're going then.
You've got your shoes on already.
I have,
metaphorically.
Yes. Yeah, I don't have any trousers on. Neither do you.
Don't tell people that.
Or people might, Well, I won't put the camera.
No, don't you dare touch that camera.
Not on that bulge. Anyway, where can we find you, Ed_Nights with an N?
You can find me at Ed_Nights with an N on social media. And you can see my writing on Eurogamer.net.
Excellent. You can find me at Biggest Benners pretty much anywhere. Just stick a 1 at the end if you can't find me, because that'll be it. But yeah, I'm mainly on Twitch. I stream normally on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. However, this week I'm going to be streaming tomorrow or today, which is a Monday, because I'm out on Tuesday night. But also, you're going to be streaming.
You're streaming more Baldur's Gate.
I will be streaming more Baldur's Gate,
and I'm going to be streaming Liza P.
Liza
P.
That will be. I'm sad that I'm going to be out. I'm going to a London Icons event.
What's that?
It's an event for London Icons.
Why are you going?
Oh, I'm like serving the little mini hamburgers, I think. I don't know. I'm
likely.
Yeah, no, it's a thing that's hosted by Great Ormond Street Hospital charity.
Very nice.
There'll be some decent people there. I say decent people. Decent's a weird word. There'll be some icons there.
Nice. Well, we will be back this time next week.
Yeah, pretty much.
With another podcast where we'll be covered in jizz.
We'll be covered in, we'll be jizzed up.
We will be fully jizzed up and we will tell you all about it.
Yeah, we will have been... Oh my God. We've been jizzed up. We'll have been bread or bed.
Let's not go there.
Bye.